to utilize this opportunity. I'll be sharing some of the presentations. Okay, my topic will be on regarding the private labeling of bio inputs and the growing opportunity for agro input industry in the sustainable agriculture. So this is the agroecology that's now being worldwide widely spoken, and it's being practiced in fruit crops and in vegetables and in spices and all this thing, and mostly in exotic crops and also in rainfed form. All this fact is we see growing importance of agroecology, and the farmers have started practicing on their own. These agroecological concepts were driven from the farmer's space. It's not trickled from the top to down model. It's from it grown as a farmer's movement, and it's now catching up. So in this scenario, we find that agro-input companies can also join in and have their role. So what we talk about agroecology is that in this type of farming, the farmers are utilizing the traditional knowledge and also the biodiversity, and they are using the very natural material that is available in their own ecosystem, and they are all brought together, and so that we seek a responsible government support towards promoting these agroecological concepts so that we could create a circular and a solidarity economy. This is the whole thing about agroecology. So in this context, when everybody is talking about sustainable and the circular economy, and even the pesticide companies, even the Bayer and all, they're speaking about sustainability. So there's a paradox shift. Move away from chemicals towards biodiversity and utilization of biodiversity and the utilization of natural resources existing in the agro system for the farm. So why the farmers are going for agroecology and how it can be approached is shown in this slide. You see, in agroecology, we use a biodiversity that is already existing in the ecosystem. It is prevailing in the ecosystem. And we use a service. What we do is not a product. It is mostly it's an ecosystem service. We engineer the ecosystem by using by providing some of the biodiversity enhancing components, and also introducing some of the biodiversity into the agriculture ecosystem. So what happens is by introducing this utilization of biodiversity and the natural resources, we find we are able to provide a decentralized solution to the farmers. So earlier, most of the chemical companies and all they are banking upon is a centralized solution where we have a entire economy and the entire supply chain. Everything is centralized. But in the case of if the farming is shifting towards agroecology, we find more scope for a decentralized production and a decentralized solution. Because only through decentralized production, we can create a green economy that is a foundation for an agroecology concept. And it not only provides a green economy, it is also an energy efficient system rather than that of a chemical form. We see in a chemical farming, in case of urea production or in nutrition production or in case of pesticide production, we consume a lot of fossil fuel. But in case of a solution through agroecology utilizes the natural biodiversity and utilizes those enzyme systems and those metabolic pathways for the solution. So we find it is a more energy efficient system because it moves away from the fossil fuel dependency system, and it provides a lot of safety to farmers because we are not using any other highly persistent poisonous chemicals. So it is more safe to farmers. We find that a increasing trend in the farmers diseases among the farmers, and particularly about diabetes, is widely seen in the rural community. Is also because of the too much of exposure to chemicals. So, and it also provides a safety to ecosystem, and it is also safe to the consumer. So, when the since the consumer interest has been arisen towards the food safety, and they are also now more lenient towards the um, foods that are grown under the through sustainable model or under agro-input system. So, what is the way to go? The private labeling offers a very good solution for bridges the gap between the marketing and existing marketing companies and the what is needed for the farmers. The marketing companies can act as a bridge because there are a number of localized bioinput producers. So, yeah, in every ecosystem you find, there will be one small rural cottage industry that will be involved in producing biological inputs. So, this will be a what will be a sustainable business model is that linking these spread across bioinput units into the main marketing companies. The marketing companies can utilize those bioinputs units for their own portfolio increase, because these all the bioinputs are using mostly providing a localized native solution, and it is not chemical company may not go for a capital investment, and they can enhance their portfolio. And one more thing is that if big marketing companies who are already in the agro-input companies or wanted to establish their own bioinput units, then it needs a huge capital, but in the capital to revenue model will not be workable, because you will be needing from each and every ecosystem, you will be needing a different bioinputs. The species will be there will be a different demand. So you have to set up a huge setup for manufacturing different bioinputs. So it will be very much costly. But rather than that, they can go for a private labeling and utilizing the small inputs, bioinputs units that are spread across. So what we do is that we provide around 60 different formulations of inputs to as a private labeling. So we can provide a need-based supply, and the expiry problem and replacement all are ruled out in this case scenario. And we'll be supplying only into a narrow category within our agriculture system, so that we can provide a fresh cultures, and we can mass multiply based on the need and all these things. So it is more viable model. So what are the microbes that we are doing here? Is that one is the waste decomposer WDC cultures, then nitrogen fixing microorganisms, then a phosphate mobilizers, potassium mobilizers, trichoderma for disease control, Pseudomonas fluorescens for disease control, and Bacillus subtilis for disease control, and Metarhizium for borers, Verticillium for sucking fish, and Bavaria for grubs and laurel pest control, Bacillomyces for nematode control, and Pochromia. These are all the microorganisms that we have multiplied. Even within the species, we used to have a different strain and different strains sourced from the various different So we have a culture collections of more than 150 cultures collections. We based on the ecosystem that we are going to serve, we utilize those cultures, and we go for a mass multiplication. So this one other thing that we offer for a private labeling is entomopathogens. So the use of entomopathogens for like a Bavaria, Metarhizium, Verticillium, Bacillomyces are in rising. Since we found that recently most of the minor pests are being emerging as a major pest within a short duration of time. We see emergence of Primus claviber, and we see emergence of in a maize. We for the past 3 years we saw armyworm. So these are all the these a new pest provide a great challenge to the already existing marketing companies because they cannot bring a new portfolio immediately into this thing and reach out to the farmers. In this scenario, we found that these microbes can better work. You can source any of the microbe from one of the best of the research institute, and then we can then multiply instantly. All this process can take up not more than 15 days. Within the 15 days, you'll be having one of the great solution. Then we also have some of the botanical extracts like capsaicin, azathioprine, eugenol. All these botanical extracts we deal with and we manufacture it. So these also being supplied to some of the marketing companies. You see how this maize or maybe when the problem was severe, the metarrhizine was hot selling here. So a number of companies should up, and a number of small bio-input manufacturers catering to the local ecosystem by supplying this metarrhizine. So this is one of the advantage using the bio-inputs for providing an agricultural solution. So we have two types of thing here. We have various different formulations can go. It's a carrier formulation or a kit formulation. Now we have a most advanced diatomaceous based formulation. And even some of the companies thought about a pellet types formulation based on fixing these microbes in botanicals, and we did it along with some chili and neem pungam pellets, and we supplied. So it provides an instant solution. So apart from microbes, there are also some one more opportunity that we provide to marketing companies is that we provide a biodiversity enhancers. What we mean is that in the case of agroecological concepts, you'll be introducing some biodiversity, and also that introduced biodiversity need to stay in that ecosystem so that it will deliver its ecosystem services. So if for that we also provide the biodiversity enhancing products, just like one is a vermicompost, and another one we have some pellets, and we have a liquid organic manures. All these things, what does it is? They can act as a biodiversity enhancer and also as a carrier. Some of the vermicompost, some of the buyers used to insist upon bioaugmented vermicompost with Azospirillum, Oxalobacter, Phosphobacter, Plasmophylacer, or some insisting upon nematode controlling Pacillomyces and Beauveria. These are all possibilities that we can provide. Yeah. And even for a fertilizers company, the vermicompost is being used as a base material to produce a phosphate-rich organic manure. So, and so it also not only provide act as a biodiversity enhancer, it also provides actually the plant nutrition in the form of CNPK. So none of the fertilizers used to have chemical fertilizers used to have only the NPK, but in this case of vermicompost and all this PROM and all, you can go for a holistic plant nutrition where you'll be having a CNPK, so that the biodiversity will also increase. The microbial population will also get increased. This is one of the products that we provide for a private labeling. This is a vermicompost. Based upon the requirement, we enrich it with the PGPR microbes or and entomophages. This is one of the combi product which launched, and the farmers received well among the farmers. It is what we call as plant health pellets. This pellet is a base from chili, neem, and pungam. So what we do is it is a solid substrate fermentation. So in this solid substrate fermentation, we are bioaugmenting with nematodes suppressing microbes like Bacillomyces and Trichoderma. So this product, apart from providing the nutrition from it also do is a dual role as a suppression of disease as well as pest. So these are all the designer products that we can think of and do. Another one is that biodiversity that we produce is traditional organic inputs like the Panchagavya, fish aminos, and the amebas. What these products does is that they enhance the natural biodiversity, native biodiversity, whatever that is existing in the farmer's field. Those biodiversity can be enhanced by this application of this Panchagavya, fish aminos, amebas. Some other companies have asked whether it can be bioaugmented Panchagavya plus fish aminos plus and amebas plus with some microbes that has a specialty role. For instance, in case of fish aminos and Panchagavya, it is mostly used as a foliar spray. So now the utility of Pseudomonas is being well known to the farmer. So blending of Panchagavya and fish aminos with the Pseudomonas has a more value. So these things can be provided. Another natural resource that we provide is a biochar, because in this region where we are located, it is abundant with biochar production. So this biochar material can be used, and it is pulverized and is being used as a carrier for a microorganism that can provide a ecosystem service either for a nutrition or for a PGPR activity. So most of this biochar helps in a colonization of PGPR. So this thing can we are also providing for some other companies. So coming to our capacity, the Jeypee Biotechs is so one of the part of our Jeypee firm, and we are in this business for the past 30 years. I'm a microbiologist, and I'm into this production since 1982. We have put up a customized production system where we are churning out nearly about 400 liters per day of microbes. So this 400 liters means that it is more all these microbials that we have, something I told you that we have 150 types of strains. So even for any given time, if any requirement is for a one particular strain, we can increase it to the capacity of 1 liter per day within 6 days. That is the way that we have customized the fermentation technique. And coming to biodiversity enhancing products, we have a capacity of producing a 10 metric ton per day, and we are producing nearly about 4,000 tons of biodiversity enhancers like enriched vermicompost, prawns, and liquid organic manures like Panchagavya and fish aminos. So these things can be utilized by the existing chemical marketing companies, because the farmers are moving towards agroecological concepts, and they can take over, form a, what I would say, they can enter into some of the agreement with a number of small bioinput manufacturers that are already existing in each and every region. And nowadays, the private labeling is much more easier. It also minimizes the investment, and it helps the marketing companies to come up with a product at a much more short duration of time. So with this, I will stop my share. So I think that a number of marketing companies will be participating in this session. I'm eager to look forward to the questions.
Thank you, sir, for detailed presentation. I'll now take up the questions from our participants. Okay, the first question is, what do you mean by private labeling agro input marketing?
Okay, Private labeling means that they'll be utilizing only our facilities and all our service and the thing. What they can get the product in their own label. That is what the meaning of private labeling. So the existing marketing companies will be giving us their brand names and their what has to be printed in this thing, and we look after everything from our side. So some of the marketing companies just they give us their name, and even from the label preparation and everything we do it here and affix it, and even the containers and everything will be sourced from us. If they wanted to be in a specific containers or in a specific labels, then those companies used to keep the stocks with us. So we'll be producing it and we'll be packing it and sending it. So this entire process we can be achieved within 6 days. So if the company comes across any needs a peculiar solution in one of the region, because sometimes they'll be working in one of the region where the fusarium built is heavier. So in that region, they may wanted to try with the trichoderma. In that case, now they did not go for a own production unit and all this thing. They can just give us the labels and what type of packing they need, and they can have it in their own packing. Some of the companies even have deposited their own cultures with us.
Okay. And next question. What exactly does your company do for the farmers?
Yeah, we have a excellent farmers training facility, and we have a farm. It is a totally an agroecological farm. We have one foundation, and we run 3 centers, one at Virudhunagar, and one at one of the village, and one at Ramna district in Nadu. So these are all located in villages where we provide we used to meet the farmers in the fields. We train the farmers for a look on-farm multiplications of all these microgreens. Also, we have trained of some of the farmers groups to go for their own input productions. So we are in the field of agroecology, and yearly we train around 1,000 farmers in our facility. And we also provide student internship for the agriculture graduates to take up the agripreneurship and take up this as one of the questions.
Okay, the next question is, who are the main customers and what services you offer them?
So farmers are our main customers. Anyway, the farmers are many. We care about farmers.
Okay. Next question. Just to know a little more about you, what is your education and career or business background?
I completed my MSc Agri from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University in 1992. And even before completing my thesis, I did my thesis on genetic studies on acid tolerant associative strains. Even before completing my thesis, I started my own small biotech laboratory in a 100 square feet facility in my home. So from there, I started my journey. Today, we have our facilities spread across a 5-acre farm, and with a biofertilizer and bio input production capacity of 100 liters per day. And we, for all my service in taking up the technology into village, because I'm my production facilities are set up in a rural village called Kuluzondai, and we provide employment opportunity to around 30 people here. So it was recognized by the government of India, and we were given a national award for the best entrepreneurship under KVAC, the Kadi Village Scheme, for providing for employment opportunity and through technology. And I'm also in the number of advisory role. I'm providing working with as a director in one of the MABIC, that is a Mother Agri-Business Incubation Forum, that promoted by NABARD as one of the director. And I'm also be recognized as the Spice Board, Spices Board, the specific advisory board. And another one, I'm providing students guidance for a number of colleges and for a TNA. This is about my background. And I'm also working along with the Reliance Foundation. Apart from this, what I just wanted to convey is that my core thing is towards agroecology. Now I'm apart from producing bio-input, I'm also into promoting this agroecological concepts in a right track using as a livelihood enhancement. We have one of the project now we have started that is exclusively for grazing goat, to promote a grazing growth in a rural facility, and using a technology to link those thing and to provide us a farm to table meat. We're also working along with the cotton groups to provide a sustainable cotton, and we have, it is in the budding stage where we have put that working on from a field to fiber. There is a sustainable fashion. Some of the we are working with some based
Okay, thank you. Next question is, there are so many companies providing similar farm inputs. What makes your offering different from the different for the farmer?
Here, what we provide is a holistic solution. They can come and visit our farm at any time so that they can get convinced. They can go to farmers who are already utilizing our inputs in and across our 3 service centers, one at Virudhunagar and at Kullur, so that they get convinced. The marketing companies can get convinced whether we can deliver or. And apart from it, I'm basically a microbiologist. I think that only a handful of people are taking up entrepreneurship or even having the equipped with the skills. I'm better in understanding what the field needs.
Okay, next question is, what are the main challenges you face in this business?
The main challenge that we face in the business is that lack of government support for the bio companies. When you see fertilizer marketing companies, government subsidies even for their own production. Looking for an example, in case of waste, city waste marketing companies, most of the fertilizer companies are involved in marketing the city waste. So for all these companies, the government of India is providing a subsidy up to the tune of 1,500 per ton. But for our small companies that we are manufacturing around 4,000 tons of the post and all these things, we are not getting any of the productions of the linked subsidy. Even in the case of power, we are not getting any power subsidy or anything. Second, when it comes to bio imports, and we are when we wanted to go for an agroecological concept promotion, Government of India has to look into that insecticide. They have to bring to remove that bio inputs from the insecticide, and they have to bring a new act, just like a FCO. They brought in for a biostimulant. They removed the biostimulant from the pesticide act, and they brought it under the FCO. So just like that, the biological inputs has to be removed from the chemical pesticides act, because the norm that are being called for a registration of biological inputs is too much. And that itself makes a number of small skilled people entering the business. So if a government is very much particular into promoting this agro-input concept, they have to remove this biological inputs from the Insecticide Act, and they have. But we are not talking about that. We don't need any quality control. We need a quality control, but we need a separate act so that will be easy for the bioinput manufacturers to legally produce all these things. Inputs. These are not only for us. A number of biological inputs, number of microdisciplines are still lying in the deep refrigerators in research institutes spread across India. All those research were funded by the government of India, but none of the products reach the farmer scale. They are all lying into the deep refrigerators. I don't know when these products will reach the farmer scale.
Okay. Next question is, do you have an in-house research lab that makes these products? Could you talk about this part?
Yeah. I told you the number of formulations we have come up with novel formulations like pellets with neem and chili and everything, and also some of the new formulations that we come up with the botanical extracts and the microbes. So these are all we tried in our own laboratory, and we come up. We have, and we also have a soil and the irrigation water laboratory. So we provide holistic solutions to all our farmers. Whenever a farmer comes up, we do them the natural resource auditing. That means that we go to the field and visit the field and do what is the biodiversity that is available, what is the natural resources that they have, what is the fertility they have, and what are the challenges in the irrigation water. Based on it, we devise a plan and give it to them. It is mostly an agricultural plan that we provide.
Okay, next question. Next question is, how long have you been doing private labeling of agro inputs? What has been the response you got from customer?
Yeah, the past my private labeling experience started little bit later. Some after 10 years of entering into this business, I went into private labeling. One of the chemical fertilizer manufacturer, the mixer fertilizer manufacturer, and was doing a formulation of bulk formulations of pesticide. They approached us for some of the products, whether we can do it in a own level. So initially, I was very much resistant because I was too much of young and I just wanted to have it everything under my own brand. Then I realized that why not we go for a private labeling, and we started it. And since 2000, we are doing it to private labeling for the companies.
Okay, next question. Most of these products comes under CIB and FCO Biostimulants Acts. Yes. What is the procedure of obtaining registration?
So that is what I am saying. And, these agroecological concepts, government has to have a bird's eye. At the present scenario, it is very difficult for a bioinput company who is having more than 150 strains to go for a registration of all those culture. Agroecology demands a localized strains, but the government says that you have to go for a pesticide registration. Pesticide registration, the CIB registration is only for the highly toxic chemicals. But clubbing this biological input that is already available, existing in the natural ecosystem under the CIB is against the agroecology, because the government is not even providing any support for the agroecological solution provider. We are providing a lot of ecosystem service, but government doesn't provide any other service, but they insist. But because of the chemical industry lobby, it has been brought under the CIBRC. So it becomes a very difficult. If you go for any statistical analysis for the past 15 years of registration that has happened in CIBRC, you can see one peculiar pattern that all the registrations were only for a temporary registration. Why none of the companies went for a permanent registration? Because this production of this biological input is not going to cost any very big investment. But going for a registration is costing a huge investment. For you think about 150 strains, if I want to go for registration, how much of my amount I have to invest? It will be something around crores. It is running into crores. Even that too only for a temporary registration. So it is a hypocrisy for the government to trust the CIBRC, and this helps only mostly the consultants who are sitting up in that New Delhi. But it is not helping anyway the farmers or the bio-input manufacturer or in agroecology concepts. Only these people make money. So if you are talking about sustainability and all these things, green economy and circular economy, the government has to come up with a more birds, have a very wider view, and have to rethink and bring away this bio-inputs from the CIBRC registration. We have done for a FCO. As far as the FCO, we had registered all our products in fertilizer control order, and we are submitted products for the registration under biostimulants under the FCO. Then one of the things that I just wanted to put up in the is that you have one of the microbial cultures that we have. That microbial culture is belongs to gram-negative bacteria. That microbe has a dual role. It has both a nutrition provider as well as it acts as PGPR. It provides stress relief. So when it comes under the stress relief, you can go for under what do you say, a biostimulant act. But the same strain also exhibit a disease control mechanism. You see, the one single culture is exhibiting both a nutrition, growth stimulant, as well as disease mechanism. But we cannot sell this product as a central insecticide, as a registered as a fungicide, biofungicide, because of the registration norms. So I think it is a foolish, because they say that they are insisting on CIB registration only to make that this product is safe for a human health. I am registering this product under the FCO and selling the same product, then there is no issue. But I'm saying this product as a biofungicide, then comes up the issue of food safety. It is a hypocrisy. So same microbial, how can they insist on a very crude, very elaborate data that is needed only for the toxic chemicals? So I don't agree with the CIB or registration. In fact, we took a CIB registration for all our products. Most of the products, it elapsed, because they give only for a temporary registration. If you want to go for a permanent registration, it has to be we can go for a permanent registration for a culture that demands a huge investment. So why you want to unnecessarily invest on for a registration when you can provide a numerous natural solution if it gets registered through a FCO? So my thing is that we are providing a solution as a nutrition provider, not as a registered as a CIB registration product. And I am against CIB registration. I am already challenging them.
Okay, next question is, in most talks about organic farming, the end goal seems to be sell some input to farmers. What are your comments?
I am not able to catch up what you say.
I'll just repeat it. In most talks about organic farming, the end goal seems to be sell some input to farmers. What are your comments?
No, yeah, you have to sell the concept, not the inputs, because you have to teach the farmers. You have to teach the farmers about the sustainability. You have, because I am a agriculture by profession, and I have my ethics. I'm not going to sell the product. I will be selling some of the technology, and I will be enriching the farmers' knowledge about the biodiversity and agroecology. In the process, they will learn that these are all the inputs that they seek. Then they approach us whether you have it or not. This is the way that I normally practice, and this is the way that for the past 30 years we are doing it. We don't sell the product, we sell only the concept. We sell only the agro-input. We teach agroecology, it is not a selling, it is only teaching agroecology. It is mostly a service, it's not more of commercial. It's not more of commercial. When we are talking about green economy and circular economy, you have to educate the farmers. Then only you will be having your own business.
Okay, next question. What is product registration procedure if we wish to purchase and packed from you?
So it is left to you. If you want to have one, it is left to you. It is left to you. Whether you want to sell it under FCU or whether you wanted to sell it under biostimulant or whether it is you wanted to go under CABS. It is left to you.
Okay. And next question. Most agriculture university students apply for bank and government jobs. How to make them agro entrepreneurs like yourself?
So I'm asking the students to come and visit and have a train in our facility. So nowadays, under RAVE program, a number of students are visiting and they are learning it. But still, I would say the government support is not so much good. They give a financial assistance, but what I say, the registration norms has to be lowered. Too much of registration norms will help only the consultants, but not the entrepreneurs.
Okay. Let me check if any further questions are left out. Yeah, there is one last question. Who are the founders of Jeypee Farms?
Yeah, so it's a totally family-run business. We have 3 brothers are running this business, and the next generation has now entered, and they are taking up this process into working on some of the digitalization of agriculture and everything they are working on. So basically, I'm the center point, and my brothers are supporting me in operations and in accountings and all the keeping up with my clients. And I work on product promotion and selling the concepts and doing extension with the farmers.
Okay. I don't see further questions from our participants. Okay. So now we have come to the end of question round, and agricultureinformation.com likes to thank our speaker, Mr. Palaneeswar Rajarathinam, for taking the time to speak to us and explain very detailedly. And I also like to thank all the participants for their time. The meeting will now be closed. Have a good and safe weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.